the second and final movie for the Wicked duology, Wicked for Good, is finally out. And you know what? I found it pretty good. I'm giving this a solid 7 out of 10. I think this is very enjoyable. Is it anywhere as good as the first one? Definitely not, but you know, this is still very solid. And I've never watched the Wicked play or theater performance before, which I will be doing. I'm making sure I will be doing now that I've seen both of these movies. I'm super excited for uh, whenever I get to watch that. But I've heard a lot of stuff about the second half of Wicked, and usually it's pretty shit. It's bad. It's just nowhere near as good as the first part, and it had my hopes pretty down for this sequel. And I'm so happy that this I didn't feel any of that watching this. This was very, very fun. I do think there's a bit of a problem with this, but this is still really good. And I think John M. Chu did a great job at making two pretty good movies. Uh, but like I said, there's a couple problems I have with this one, and I don't know how this has happened in between these two movies, but this movie is pretty damn ugly, which was one of my main problems with the original Wicked. Uh, this is mainly just a cinema problem of modern cinema. Why do movies look so ugly? Wicked is such a colorful movie. Both of these Wicked movies are so colorful and extravagant and everything. Yet somehow they always looked so washed out. Every single scene just looks so completely washed out, despite there being so much color. Is that a choice that they've made? I really doubt it, but it's just so hideous. It's such a shame. I mean, there's so much beautiful color in the dresses, the sets or the environments if they are CGI, and then it's just so washed out and it just looks so dull and boring. And it's such a shame for such a colorful universe that they've built around us with these two movies and the Wizard of Oz of the past. And especially for Wizard of Oz being such a famous movie for how beautiful it looks with all its shining colors and how bright and luminescent it looks. And this is just feels like the complete opposite. Despite all the coloring that I think this movie has amazingly. Another problem I have is why does the acting feel somewhat worse in this movie? These were filmed back to back, I'm pretty sure, and I don't think this is a universal thing for all the actresses and actors, but I think Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo still do great. I think they still do great, and I'm really happy for it. But Michelle Yao, maybe I just don't remember the first one as well, but she seems so out of it in my opinion. And this isn't me just assuming what she's feeling, but it just feels like she didn't want to be here for the second part, which is such a shame. I know her character has a lesser role in this one, as opposed to the first one where she was like such a huge part in the reveal. In this one, she's just kind of here and there throughout the movie, but every time she's on screen, it feels like she doesn't want to be there, and it sucks. I think Jeff Goldblum does a good job. And maybe my main issue really is just Michelle Yeoh, and I love Michelle Yeoh. I think she's amazing. And like I said in Wicked One, I thought she was great. Just this one performance just very weird. A lot of the side characters, the extras, also feel not as good, but their singing, of course, is lovely. And I think Wicked for Good, once again, amazing singing performances out of everyone. My main joy about the original Wicked is how good the extras were singing alongside Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, Michelle Yao, and Jeff Goldblum. And I'm so glad it holds true to this one, the sequel. They all sound amazing as well, though. The songs in this movie, while I do think they fit an amazing purpose towards the story and how these characters grow throughout the movie, you have the bubble song, and then you of course have that amazing final song towards the end. But maybe my memory's serving me wrong, and maybe I've seen too many Wicked for Good trailers. Wasn't that final song in the original Wicked? I'm not sure, but it's amazing, and I think that song fits amazingly. And that is one of the better songs of this Wicked duology. But all the other songs in this movie kind of stink. I think the only one I really enjoyed that was new was "Wondering." I really hope I remember the name correctly. The one with Jeff Goldblum and Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, and they're all inside the wizard building, singing together, and seeming like they have a good connection again. That song was so much fun and amazing. Uh, but every other song I just thought was kind of lame. The choreography in this movie also just isn't as good as the first one, and I think it's just because there is a lack thereof choreography. The amazing dancing scenes you have in the first one, like the scene where Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande first meet each other, and the the whole popular sequence with the library and everything and going throughout the whole school. Everyone's moving around like crazy and the dancing and everything's so amazing. I'm not surprised because John M. Chu worked on Step Up 2 and 3, if I remember correctly, and those have some amazing dances in them. And I wish we got more than Wicked 2, but Wicked 2 just feels more like a singy movie rather than a singy dancey movie. If that sounds good to you. Um, but the Wicked for Good story is pretty solid. Like I said, I never watched the Wicked play theater, and I will be doing that soon, I hope. But man, I really enjoyed all this stuff with Dorothy and crew. You have the Tin Man who ended up being the Munchkin, and I don't know how accurate this is to the Wizard of Oz lore and all this stuff. I don't even know if this is even canon or whatever. I don't really give a shit. But the Tin Man being the Munchkin and being like a psychotic Tin Man killer instead of like a more humble down one. Of course, the cub growing up to be the lion was no surprise, and Jonathan Bailey's character, who for some reason I'm zoning out right now, him being the Scarecrow, and him and Cynthia Erivo together when we find out that she's still alive. Obviously, she was still alive. He looks fucking great as the Scarecrow. I love it. I thought he looked fantastic. And something I really appreciated about this movie and sort of Wicked One, even though we just got one scene with her, and this one we had a lot more of, is that Dorothy's just not shown in the slightest throughout the entirety of this movie. You have uh, this scene where she's getting picked up by the monkeys, and she gets flown away, and all you see are the shoes of Elphaba's sister, Tessa, and then you have uh, the scene where Ariana Grande was hiding in the closet and watching Elphaba die, and it's just a silhouette of Dorothy. You don't see anything. You see a silhouette of her and Elphaba fighting, and then of course she throws the water on her. She walks away, and you see like the behind of Dorothy, but that's it. And I just love that they're doing so much to show that Dorothy's not the reason why this story is as great as it is. It's Elphaba, it's Galinda, it's them two together, and Dorothy's just another piece in this giant puzzle of everything that's happening in Oz. I don't know how they do it in the theater or the play or whatever. I hope it's something similar like that. I think it's fucking brilliant. Have her get thrown to the side and feel like just another person in their lives, and no one extremely special to them. I fucking loved it. And by the way, the house falling on Tessa, hilarious. I fucking love that scene. That was hysterical. I thought that was brilliant. And I didn't mention this earlier, but I did mention Michelle Yeoh's performance, which I didn't really enjoy. I can't remember her name, but whoever plays Tess, I'm zoning out. Nessa, Jesus Christ, not Tessa, Nessa. Um, I think she kind of sold it. She kind of sold with her performance on this one. I kind of enjoyed her in the first one, and this one, I don't know. I didn't like her anytime she was on screen. Specifically, the part where she's casting the spell. That whole scene with her and the Munchkin in the room together, I just didn't enjoy. It just felt so like a sold performance, and they weren't just there for it, which sucks. Because in the first movie, I thought everyone did really good. In this one, I think there's a few people selling here and there, but it's okay. Wicked for Good, very enjoyable. 2 hours and 15 minutes, and while the beginning did feel very poorly paced and very boring, I think the rest of it is very solid. I think the ending is absolutely amazing, despite looking fucking hideous. Which I don't think I mentioned that earlier. I did mention how ugly this movie is. Uh, for how beautiful that ending is, and the closing of Galinda and Alphaba relationship and them being separate, it is so fucking ugly. It is unbelievable how fucking ugly it is. The specifically Alphaba's side, and it's such a shame because you are supposed to love Alphaba more than anyone in these movies. And her final shot is so fucking disgusting. She is standing there and she's singing and her background is just completely blurred out. You have none of the settings she's in, nothing. She's just in this disgusting, grayed out, blurred background that looks like shit. And I'm so pissed about it because my main gripe with these two Wicked movies have been how they look visually. And man, this one just looks so much worse somehow. I don't know how they fumbled it, but yeah, like I said, Wicked for Good is really enjoyable, really fun. The songs, well, some of them I didn't really enjoy. The final song and in wondering, or Jesus Christ, I'm forgetting the name of these songs. I think are both lovely. Wicked for Good and Wicked in general was a fun duology, and it's such a shame that it's going away because I had so much fun looking forward to this part two, and part one was just so brilliant.